Holocaust Memories Never Forget. A Gentile baby boomer's painful journey into the Shoah. Section 6. Brutalste Gewalt. Brutal Violence. Part 19. From the 1st of January 1943 until the end of the war, May 1945. Another element of the Germans' mass murder of civilians which is rarely written about is the Porajmos, literally the devouring, which was the massacre of gypsies. It's important to note that the term gypsies will be used in this book as a generic description of the various Roma, Sinti, and Nayeri people who are believed to be descendants of migrants from northern India and have lived in Europe for at least 600 years. With their dark skin, nomadic lifestyle, non-traditional religion, and strange language, they never fit into any European society. Discrimination against gypsies included restricting their normal customs, forcing Christianity upon them, stealing their children to be Christianized, and the most heinous practice of all, tracking and killing them like wild game. In 1725, King Frederick William I of Prussia ordered that all gypsies over the age of 18 should be hanged. Hitler wasted no time in making it legal to arrest and sterilize gypsies under the 1933 Law for Prevention of Hereditary Diseased Offspring, but surprisingly, he wanted further clarification before classifying them as a racial threat and beginning a full-scale assault on their existence. In 1936, Dr. Robert Ritter, director of the Racial Hygiene and Population Biology Research Unit, determined that gypsies, even though up to 10% or more of them displayed Aryan characteristics, were of mixed blood and thus dangerous to German society. Over the centuries, gypsies had always faced varying levels of discrimination, but in Nazi Germany their lives grew increasingly more dangerous. In 1937, a special concentration camp, the Ziegwunderlager, was created for gypsies, and the German military refused to accept any of these so-called mixed bloods for service, regardless of how Aryan they might appear. Gypsies could be arrested based on the law against crime, which essentially criminalized anyone who showed antisocial behavior or exhibited no desire to fit into society. In 1938, 1,500 male gypsies were arrested and sent to Dachau, while 400 or more women were sent to Ravensbrück, the all-female concentration camp north of Berlin. In 1939, Director of the RSHA Reinhard Heydrich put the newly passed settlement edict to work by prohibiting all gypsies from leaving their current location, making it easy to keep close track of them for eventual arrest. In 1940, Dr. Robert Ritter stated that the only way to stop these antisocial gypsies from breeding was to put them all into labor camps. In November 1943, Himmler remained convinced that they were a serious threat to Aryan purity and reiterated his previous order of 16 December 1942 that all gypsies were to be liquidated. After a conference in Berlin, Heydrich ordered the removal of 30,000 gypsies to Poland. As the war progressed, the status of gypsies deteriorated even more rapidly. Einsatzgruppen records show that thousands of gypsies were murdered at Babi Yar in September 1941, and in Austria, 5,000 or more of them, most of whom were children, ended up at the Wutz ghetto and were later gassed to death at Chełmno. Some gypsies were used as patients in horrible medical experiments, while thousands more were worked to death in labor camps. By early 1942, the order had been given to kill all gypsies, but Jews remained Hitler's top priority, which slowed down the process of their total genocide. Eventually, a separate camp inside Auschwitz II-Birkenau was built within which 23,000 of them were detained. When the order came in August 1944 to round up all the gypsies at Auschwitz for gassing, they barricaded themselves in their buildings and revolted, fighting back with tools and other objects they had collected during work details. The Germans retreated at first, but a few weeks later came back in force and killed many of them. Finally, all the able-bodied men who were still alive were sent to various labor camps, while the remaining 3,000 gypsy women, children, and elderly all met their deaths in one of Auschwitz's gas chambers.